Hi everyone, welcome to Mat 1033 Intermediate Algebra. You are in an online course, second 8 weeks of the term. So the plan for this video is just to kind of walk you through our homepage in Canvas. Maybe we'll have time to pop into MyLab Math. If not, I'll do that in a second video. So just to kind of point out stuff that I want you guys to be familiar with, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page as you get started in the course. All right, so when you sign into Canvas, you should see this home page, and we're going to begin at the Start Here page. So I'm just going to kind of click through. So I'm going to click on Orientation. So welcome to Mat 1033 Online. First step is to watch the videos, and the video that I'm creating, I will post a link here later, so you'll see that hopefully as you're watching this video once you click through. Second step is to read your syllabus. So you can either click here or pop over here. So let me just take a quick detour for a second. I have the Mat 1033 syllabus and then also some frequently asked questions. So if I pop open the syllabus, obviously read through it, especially in an online class. The syllabus is extra important because I'm not going to see you guys every day to be able to remind you of stuff. But one thing that I want to point out, obviously the grade weightings you'll want to take a look at. But I do want to point out at the end of the syllabus on the very last page, scrolling down, on the very last page, I've got the course schedule for the semester, not for the semester, for the 8 weeks. So this just walks you through when assignments are due. So first, I just want to point out during the first week, your first due date is Wednesday, March 17th, and then your second due date is Friday, March 19th. So those are your first 2 big due dates. And then going forward, you'll see that in a typical week, Mondays you'll have work due. Tuesday you'll have a scavenger hunt due in Canvas. We'll talk more about that in a moment. And then during a 3-day window, Tuesday through Thursday, you can take your module exam. And then on Friday, you'll begin working in MyLab Math again. So Friday and Monday and Friday, you'll be doing homework and quizzes in MyLab Math. Tuesday, you'll turn in a scavenger hunt in Canvas. And then anytime during the Tuesday to Thursday window, you'll complete your module exam. So that's pretty much the pattern until you get to the very final week when you take the final exam. So I just wanted to mention that. Also in here, I mentioned my late work policy. So some assignments can be completed late. Homework you can complete late with a 15% late penalty. Quizzes you can complete late with a 15% late penalty. And scavenger hunts, they're out of a total of 5 points, so you lose 1 point per day late. You cannot complete module exams or the final exam late, so you must complete them during the testing window. And I always say to my students, there's a difference between a due date and a due date. They sound the same, but they're spelled differently. Just because something is due, D-U-E, on a Monday, that doesn't mean you have to attempt it, do it, D-O it on a Monday. So you should start early. You should be working on stuff in advance. So really the trouble that I see students having in this class, much more so than the math, is just butting up against deadlines. So just be aware of that. If you're a chronic procrastinator, and I can certainly sympathize with those of you who are, just be aware that keeping a solid schedule is really, really important for this class. And I also just want to pull up the FAQ page. I'll let you guys read through this, but this just hopefully addresses a lot of questions that you might have just about my class in particular versus other online classes, other math classes. So be sure to check this out as well. Okay, so I'm going to leave there. Actually, I'll go back here. I'm going to leave there. So we're back on our home page. We didn't get too far on the orientation page, so let me jump back. So you guys will watch these videos. You'll read through the syllabus and that FAQs page. Once you've done all of this, you should be ready to take the orientation quiz, and that's the guy that's due on Wednesday, March 17th. And you need a score of 100%. You can take it unlimited times. You should be able to get the 100% no problem as long as you go through this stuff. And something that I just want to point out before you get too far into this course, again, I told you guys that the time commitment is often a big issue for students. A lot of times the math isn't a problem, but it's just dedicating the time, devoting the time to this class. Know that you are in a fast-paced course, so we're basically doing twice the work that you normally would every week compared to a 16-week course. So one way I think of it is if you had a face-to-face 8-week course that's a 4-credit course like ours is, you would meet 8 hours in the classroom every week, And then on top of that, you're probably going to have at least 8 hours of homework that you're going to be spending time on. So you can think of this as a 16 to 20 hour time commitment. So if you think that taking on a 20-hour per week job over the next 8 weeks would not work with your schedule, then maybe reconsider taking this course right now. Take it later on when you can take it at a slower pace, okay? And if you do want to make any changes, two things I want to mention. As you're signing up for MyLab Math, there's a temporary access option, and I'll point that out to you guys as we go farther along. That allows you to get into MyLab Math and start your work for free, so you don't have to pay right away in case you might want to jump ship later. And the drop date for the course is Saturday, March 20th. This is the last day to drop the course so that it doesn't appear on your transcript. It's not an attempt, and you get your tuition money back. So just keep that in mind. All right, let me click the next tab. So this is where you would go to take your orientation quiz. You would click Take the Quiz to take the quiz. I'll skip that and I'll leave you guys to do that. All right, the next due date after Wednesday the 17th, then you have the required initial assignment, which is due Friday, March 19th. You need to complete all 5 parts of the required initial assignment. If you don't, if you're missing 1 or 2 components, I will mark you as a no-show and you will be dropped from the course. Don't do that. Complete all 5 parts. You stay in the course. I love it. Everybody's happy. Okay, let me go ahead and click through. So as you click next, it's just going to take you through the 5 components. So make sure you're clicking through and reading these instructions as you go along. So step 1, enroll in the MyLab Math course. And I tried to put just kind of a time estimate. Most of the stuff will be really, really quick to do. All right, one thing that I do point out, and I wrote about it here, you'll have the option to either purchase 18-week access or 2-year access. For me, I don't care which one you pick because both of them get you into my course. 18-week access, if you're pretty confident you're going to pass this on the first attempt, then that's your guy. Most students pick this. However, if for some reason you think you're going to need more than 1 attempt to be successful in this course, the 2-year access bought once is cheaper than 2 18-week accesses, if that makes sense. So I just want to mention that. Also, I just have a screenshot for when you guys get to the payment page. This is where you can go to get that temporary access. They kind of hide it at the bottom because they probably don't want you to get the free trial. But this is the link down there. So just be aware that that's down there at the bottom when you get to that registration page. So I'm clicking next. You at home would do a browser check. I'm not going to do that. I'm clicking next. So let me try this. I'm in student view and hopefully this will play along with me. All right, so of course you're going to read all of this legal talk as we all do. I accept. All right, then it brings you to this page. If you've never used a MyLab product, you would create your account. I've used one before, so I'll go ahead and type in my account info. So at this point, this is the payment page, and this is the point where you can pay for just 18-week access, you can pay for 2-year access, or you can get temporary access for 14 days. So I'll go ahead and click this. Yes, I'll see how far it takes me. Okay. All right, so I'm going to abandon that because I'm not really a student, but you guys hopefully will not see an error message. Okay, and then after that, your next assignment, once you're enrolled into MyLab Math, you'll complete the first 4 Module 1 assignments in MyLab Math. So it's these 4. All right, and if you click this tab, hopefully again this will play nice with me, this should take you good into the homework and test tab. So this is where you can see all of your assignments. All right, and if you want, you can complete these out of order. I have the pretest first. I made that number 5, but basically all of these guys need to be completed by Friday. So whatever order you want to complete them in is fine. So let me take you into just this first assignment in Module 1. Or actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that now. All right, so in this first assignment, you have 16 math questions. And I also want to point out on the left, you've got these videos here. So we don't have a class, you're not going to see me. So I assign these videos that are created by the author of our course textbook. So I assign these videos in order to have you watch those, and then you go ahead and complete the 16 questions after. I want to point out that your total score, 4 of the 20 points come from just watching these videos. So there are 4 media points, 16 question points out of a total of 20 points in the assignment. So if you do not watch the videos, you cannot get 100%. So please make sure you're watching these videos. Even if you know the stuff already, it doesn't hurt to refresh. So go ahead and watch the videos. Make sure you can get that full 100% on your assignment. All right, so I'm going to click OK, because I'm done with that. These little green flags just tell you that there's a prerequisite required. So I need to get an 85% on this assignment. Once I do that, this flag will go away and then I can get into this assignment. Get an 85, then I can take this assignment. And then that brings you to your first quiz. You must score at least an 85% on all of your homework assignments, and then you can get into this first quiz. And the quiz, you have a 30-minute time limit. It is a timed assessment. You have unlimited attempts, but you do need a minimum of 70% on that quiz in order to go into the next homework assignment. So just be aware of that. So you'll complete all of these module assignments in order. The pretest you can do first, or you can do it after those first four. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click next. All right, next up, I want you guys to write a discussion post and reply to another student. So you write your own post and you reply. And I ask you these three questions. The main one I really want to focus on is number 2, because I want to make sure you're in the right spot. So I want to ask you guys which courses you're planning on taking next. There have been a lot of changes recently, just in the last couple of years, even the last year, where MAT 1033 is no longer a prerequisite for our MGF courses. I still see a lot of students where, they heard from their brother that they have to take MAT 1033 to get into MGF 1106 or whatever. If you're taking these 2 courses, get out of here. You don't need this class. Make a change by the drop date. Go straight into either of those MGF classes. If you're taking STA 2023 or MAC 1105, then you're in the right place, and this class is the prerequisite for either of those. Although I do want to mention there is a class called STA 1001 that serves as a prerequisite just for the stats course. Okay, so you guys anyway are going to post info there, and you'll reply to another student, and everybody will do that. All right, next up, number 4, send your instructor a Canvas message with the required info. And obviously make sure you read through this and understand everything, but I want you to copy all of this bolded material. You can then click inbox and send me a message. Okay, and if you don't know how to do that, check this website and that'll tell you how to send a message in Canvas. And then finally, complete the MAT 1033 pretest. No minimum score required. And as I mentioned, you can do that last or you can do that first before you complete these other 4. But I do want to mention that the pretest will be using HonorLock. So HonorLock is our proctoring system that we use for these fully online classes. So the pretest is important. It gives me information about how prepared you are for the class, and it gives you information as well. But honestly, I also really see this as kind of a low stakes practice run for using HonorLock. We're going to be using HonorLock for future exams. The pretest is not a part of your grade. Let me repeat that. The pretest is not a part of your course grade. It's just for information purposes. But I do want you guys to use HonorLock with it, just so you can practice using HonorLock on something where if you blow it, it's not a permanent part of your course average. It doesn't count in your course average. Okay. So when you guys are ready to take the pretest, make sure you get in a quiet testing area. You can have blank scratch paper, but don't bring in notes or anything. Make sure you have a photo ID because that'll be part of the HonorLock process. And you guys will watch a video. I'll link to a video shortly. Once you watch the video, hopefully you'll get a good idea of what you are doing with HonorLock to set that up. But I just want to point out, you'll see a page asking for a password when you click to open the pretest, but you do not fill in the password. You do not fill in the password. It will be filled in automatically through HonorLock. Okay, so you'll never know what the password is. You'll fill it in automatically by enrolling in HonorLock. Okay. When you click next, this is the video you'll use that teaches you how to use HonorLock. And then when you click next, this is where you'll click to load HonorLock in a new window. So here's the password. You're not going to know the password. Instead, you'll go back to your original Canvas page. You'll click on this HonorLock tab, and then you'll go through the setup process, and then you'll see that it will fill this password in automatically in that process. And I just want to mention that you will be using HonorLock for the pretest as well as your module exams, modules 1 through 6 exams, and for the final exam.